Hey guys, welcome to the video, and in this one we're going to take a look at how to implement forms with Tailwind CSS. So let's roll the intro to get started. Okay, so to get started I have this basic Tailwind CSS CDN link over here and some base classes on the body tag basically. So our first step is to create a form tag, basically wrapper for all our form elements, and then an h2 inside this. Basically this is just the heading, and then I'll create a whole div for every form element because every one of them is going to have a label and then an input. Alright, and just clone this over for the next form input, and I can change this to type password, and instead of username the label is going to say password. Cool. And then we're going to have a button called login. Let's see what that gives us. Yeah, pretty pretty cool stuff. This looks pretty, sure does. So let's get started by styling the form element. We can give it a background white, add a padding of 4 all around, center the text. Yeah, alright, and right now you can't see the form elements because they have a white background, so they're just blending into the background. Let's start step by step by styling first our heading. So we'll say text hyphen LG, that just makes it larger, font hyphen bold. Yeah, pretty nice. So onto this second, onto the first form input. So first, right now the label and the form input are in the same line, which is not what I want. So we can add a class of block to the input, and it will change its display to block. And right now this is where the form input is situated. And for the form, what I want is the username, the label basically should be at the starting edge of the form input. So for this whole div I can specify class text hyphen left, so the text will start from the leftmost edge. Now to style the label, first of all you want it to be really small, text XS, then I'll give it a dark grayish color so that it's specific that this is not your major point of focus. Alright, sorry, I wrote BG, it has to be text hyphen gray hyphen 700. Alright, so now to style the form input, first let's try giving it a background to see where it is. Yep. And now for the text I want it to be, let's say, SM and PX2 PY1. What PX2 does is basically 0.5 rem of padding on the left and right, and PY1 applies 0.25 rem padding on top and bottom. Then we can give it a border, and let's say border gray 400. That's really subtle, but it's there for sure. And instead of having background as gray 300, we can keep it at 200. Yeah, looks nice. Now when you click on it, it has this focus ring that I don't really like having. So we can say focus outline none. And now when you focus on it, the outline ring is gone. But that means you're going to have to provide some styles of your own to basically signify that this is focused right now. So what you can do is basically say focus, and on focus I can lighten up the background from gray 100 to gray, from gray 200 to gray 100. This is a subtle cue, but there's one more thing that we could do. Basically increase the darken up the border color. So right now we have border gray 400. We can make this to be border gray 600, 700 or 600. Let's see. So let's try that. Yeah, that's pretty clear, and let's do it at 500. Yeah, That's pretty good too. Alright, this looks pretty great, and we can maybe add a nice little touch of rounding the corners. Yep. And now we can basically copy over the whole thing for the second text input. So first I'm going to copy the classes for the label. Yep. And now for the password input. Alright, and the last step is to apply a class of text left. We could maybe add a little margin top, let's say margin top 1. Yeah, looks decent. And we can add margin top 2 on this. Yep. And now our last thing to style is this login button. So let's say BG gray 800 and text gray 100. Alright, now let's give it a little bit of margin on the top, margin top 4. Alright, and then text SM and PX3PY1. Cool. We can make it span the whole width as well, and I think that would look pretty cool. We can just say W-full, which just sets its width to full, which is 100%. And then we can add rounded class and give it a rounded corner. And because we are using rounded corners in all our buttons and inputs, we can go over and give rounded corners to this form tag as well, which is the parent container for all of these. Alright, the last step that I want to do for this is add the hover classes on the button. So on the button, when you hover, the BG should get a little lighter maybe. Let's try if that looks good. That is too much. We'll just say BG gray 700. Yep, looks neat. Alright guys, so that's it for this video, and if you found this helpful, just drop a like and tell me in the comments what you thought about this one. For more videos in the series, just hit the subscribe button. Thank you guys.